Hi folks, welcome back. Today we're going to see the inheritance property of JavaScript. I guess all of you must have gone through the basic Douglas Crockford book, The Good Parts in JavaScript, and we all know JavaScript is a class-free, object-oriented programming which uses prototypal inheritance, right, instead of classical inheritance. So we're going to see that how we use a prototypal inheritance over here. So first, let's start with creating a proper function, which is like creating a constructor, like say function vehicle. Okay, let's add some parameters into this. Has engine and has wheels. Okay, now let's assign some constructor properties inside. Say this dot has engine equal to has engine or false. Either it's there or it's not there. The same applies to has wheels also. Say this dot has wheels equal to has wheels or false. Okay. So in this step, what we have done, we have created a constructor function for vehicle, right? This is step number one. Now, why do we use this logical OR operator? Just to make sure that if there is no values that get passed, then the property goes to false. Okay. Now let's create another constructor function for a car, which is pretty much simple using the construct pattern of object creation. Say function car and pass along some parameters like make, model, and horsepower. Okay. This dot make equal to make, this dot model equal to model, and this dot horsepower equal to horsepower. So what we've done here is we have created a basic setup of a car object by using the constructor pattern. Okay. Now we want to set up some dynamic inheritance properties into it. How do we set up a proper inheritance? In order to do that, there is something called as prototype. This prototype is a property of an object, kind of a gene pool, when we inherit some of the properties from our parents. The same way the object can inherit from something of its parent if it is added to the prototypal property of an object. So how do we do that? Suppose say car dot prototype equal to new vehicle, and let's pass along true and true so that it has engine, it has wheels, right? Now, how does this particular thing gets read by a JavaScript, right? The new operator, what we have used over here, basically creates a generic object and assigns this object to the proto property of vehicle.prototype. So it goes and affects the vehicle.prototype property. Then this particular new operator passes the object to the vehicle constructor function as the this keyword, right? The this keyword refers back to the function, which is because, as I explained, that this is referred to that particular function name within the scope of the function, as JavaScript is a function scoped language, right? Now, the object gets these properties has engine and has wheels assigned, and now we go ahead and do some extension of this prototype. Okay, how do we extend this? Let's add a method, car.prototype dot display specs, okay, equal to function, right? This is a method because we are adding a function as the value of a property called as display specs. Okay, and let's do a console.log of this dot make this dot model this dot horsepower, and so forth. Like this dot has engine, so that because it's inheriting those properties, right? This dot has wheels. Okay. Now, what have we done here? We have practically extended the functionality of car by adding another function to this object, and that too into the prototype. Okay. Now, what all does this prototype holds? Let's come to this prototype property. This prototype has access to has engine, has wheels, display specs, and everything that points to the vehicle prototype, right? Now let's create a car. How do we instantiate this car object? Say variable my BMW equal to new car. Let's pass along some specs. BMW, comma 535i, comma some 300 horsepower. Okay. Now, see again what it does. It again, the new operator creates a generic object and sets it to the product property of the car.prototype, right? Now we created an instance of the car object. What if we call this method that we have created my BMW dot display specs, right? Let's open our console and let's see what it does. Let's run this code. There you go. BMW 535i 300 true and true. So we have basically created an instance of this particular car prototype object and have added different properties into it from vehicle to car into this prototype property of display specs. Okay. Now, what if you want to extend this prototype? Suppose if we go ahead and we want to extend the vehicle using prototype, we can go ahead and say console dot, no, let's extend it first. So we say vehicle dot prototype dot has trunk equal to true. Okay. Now this is a dynamic inheritance that has been set up, right? So obviously whatever this my BMW is, it will inherit this property also. So suppose in order to check this inheritance, if we go ahead and do console.log of my BMW dot has trunk. Okay, what's the answer? Let's see. Say inspect element, go to your console, run it, comes out as true, right? So obviously we have created a proper inheritance chain, and the property has trunk is available to my BMW also. So this is a very simple example of inheritance in JavaScript. I'll again reiterate over everything so that I add some more points, conclusion points, and some more comments so that we can make it more readable, right? So what are we doing here? We are creating a constructor function car. Let's make it small. Okay, now what are we doing over here? We are setting up a dynamic inheritance. Okay, and in this particular creation of the method, we are extending the car using prototype. Okay, and in this instance we are creating a new car. Okay, So this is the set of code that we have written in order to understand the basic OOPS prototypal inheritance concepts. I hope you enjoyed this video. And for further clarifications, do shoot us an email at support@ptc.com, or you can contact me directly at arvind@protectconsulting.com. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for more options. Thank you.